using feminism for a bad behavior doesn't mean that you are actually a feminist. Strip away her clothes and then, she's like a pretty bold girl and things like that. Like, rather than you asking for equality, go and earn it. So how do you earn it? What is feminism? Who are real feminists? And there are actually people who call themselves as feminist, but they're actually pseudo. Let's look into the difference today. Welcome to askraghulan. Thank you for all the love and support. If you like my videos, subscribe to the channel. And this video is sponsored by armorado.com. You can find a lot of cool products in it. If you're going to do traveling, touring, trekking, adventure sport, you might actually find products that will be of your interest. Have a look into it. And before we get started, guys, make sure that the comment is polite. And, let's make sure that, we have give equal opportunities to everyone to participate. Let's learn from each other. And if you're going to throw hate or sarcasm or troll, people are going to give you back the same thing. And it's definitely not going to be good for the health. And I'm going to delete all of those stupid comments. So make sure that it is polite. Let's learn from each other. I'm not saying that I'm 100% right. I may be wrong. It's up to you to actually prove it. But do it in a way that I can take it in the right sense. Today, if you ask someone, okay, can you show me an example of feminism? Can you tell me where you saw feminism? And most people will say like, okay, I saw this reel where a girl basically strip away her clothes and then, she's like a pretty bold girl and things like that. And that is to prove that, she's no lesser than a man. And somewhere like there will be a girl who will be just shouting some foul words and things like that. And basically saying that, I'm no lesser than a man. So the point is like using feminism for a bad behavior doesn't mean that you are actually a feminist. So first, let's go one by one. So first thing we'll look into is like, so people who basically use foul words or swear words and say like, I'm pretty bold and I can say whatever I want. And, I'm a feminist. No, technically that is not. I'll give you something. Like I've been to a lot of different places. I've been to Portugal, I've been to France, I've been to Middle East, I've been to Laos, and like both Asian countries as well as Western countries. Right now I'm in Australia. So the thing is like, all of these countries, if you look at the languages, like almost every different country, they have a different language. And all of those languages have something in common, which is like all the bad swear words, they're basically words which insults women, which basically insults your sister or your mother or something like that, because that is what hurts a man the most. And a woman who basically uses a word which basically insults another woman or generally women in general is completely regressive. And feminism is not regressive. It's basically progressive. And so don't call yourself as a feminist when you actually use swear words and say that, okay, I'm a feminist now. That's first thing. And because the thing is like, you're going to do this and people are actually doing it. People actually come to social media. People actually do it on the public spaces and they actually loudly use the swear words and actually they call them as feminist. So what you're saying to upcoming generation of women or kids or anything like that is like, okay, a feminist or someone who speaks bad words. And that's basically insults women. And how come actually, is that the representation of feminism that you want to show it on your online? And because that is what's happening in most of the spaces in social media. And the next thing is like, what have you done? So most cases is like, because I've been doing more videos in Tamil compared to in English and other languages. Now, whenever I do these sort of topics, people get triggered and they would just want to come and want to argue. I'll ask a very simple question. Okay, you care about women. That's the reason you come and comment here. That's really good. And so you don't like what I'm saying, which is okay. And so you want to change it, right? You want to change it. So now what changes you have brought in? So what have you done for women? You call yourself as feminist and you actually upset about what I have said. Now what you have done and what you have done to empower women. Now I'll give you certain things, because the point is, this is all comes down to the intent. Let's say you want to do a haircut. Tomorrow you want to do a haircut because, you got so much hair, you want to do a haircut. Now you've been postponing this for like so long, but tomorrow is a final day that you want to do it because you got like a bedding or something that you're going to attend to the day after or something. So it's the last day that you have to do it. Now what you would do? Now the intent is very pure and clear. So the morning you wake up early, you have your food on time. Now you allocate a time and then you go to a salon, you go and wait there patiently, you get the hair done and then you pay for it and come back and have a bath. Now what happens here is like, previously you had the same thought of, okay, I want to do something, but you never did about it because you don't have an intent to do it. But the day that is basically pretty close to another deadline or something that you are basically inevitably that you have to do that, now you force yourself to do it, because now you're very clear about your intent. Now with the feminists, what happens is like, they have this thought process, they have this, okay, I want to support women, I want to be that, this and whatever, but they don't have an intent. Okay, today you talk to anyone who is posting comments on this video. The only thing is, okay, today I posted a comment saying that, okay, Rahul, what you said is wrong, and then I'm a feminist, I'm gonna, I do this, then that, whatever. Tomorrow, I just want you to come back again and tell me, okay, yesterday I actually said so many things about feminism. Today I went out, I actually helped like around 5 different women to get a job. I helped I created a YouTube video, and I actually posted technical videos that would help women to get some jobs or get some skills. So now that is what I want to see it, because most of the feminists today, they are basically zero action feminist. So it's like, people who buy a puppy in their whole life, they'll be like around 40 or 50. That's the first time they got a puppy, and they talk like animal activist. And that's basically they got a puppy from a puppy mill. So that's like, multiple generations of puppies, which will generally have a lot of medical issues as well, which we'll talk about in another video. And also feminists who are actually going to comment on this video, I want you to tell me, if you got a skill today, now tell me where you learned that skill from. Don't tell me from schools and colleges. Today, no one actually finishes just college and then go and get a job with a college degree. They have to go and do another course. They have to go to YouTube. They have to study something, and they have to upskill themselves. That is a skill which basically gets you a job. Now, who teaches you that? And, because you are a feminist, and then you tell me how many women have taught you JavaScript, how many women have taught you about AutoCAD, how many women have taught you about Civil 3D, how many women talk to you about supply chain management or logistics or any software that is used in accounting. In most of the cases, you will actually find men actually doing those tutorials, men actually doing those training videos. You get upskilled from that. And then once you upskilled it, once you got the job, how many women go back and do those things for other women? Again, zero contribution. And next is like, who are basically enemies of women then in that case? So technically the basic enemies of women are basically women. So even I worked in several companies, and most cases, the person who talks about a woman behind her back is basically another woman. If any woman is going to argue about this one, like, you basically lying, guys. Because this is something which I see it at home, which I see it in neighborhoods, which I see it in my office, which I see it in my school. I've seen these things plenty of times. Now, why would you do it? And again, if you're a feminist that you're going to comment on this video, you honestly say that you haven't spoken ill about it or basically gossiped about another woman in your school or college or your workplace or your friend circle. And next is like, what do actually women fight for? Equal pay. So now, what does it come with? That means like just equal pay without any equal contribution or equal responsibility or equal accountability. Now, how does actually brings equality? How that actually makes it a feminism? Because what happens is like, this is what happening. Like, people wanted to have equal pay, but they don't want to have equal responsibility or contribution. You can see that, like people in women's cricket, actually they fight for equal pay, and people in women NBA, they actually fight for equal pay. But where is the equal contribution? Okay, you can actually ask for equal pay when you actually say that, okay, let's say we are equally billable. You are working in a company and you are actually 5 years plus a Java developer, and there is another guy who works like 5 years exactly the same and 5 years Java developer. Before you ask for equal pay, go to your HR, look at his billable rate. He will be working for some client, you will be working for some client. Check why his billable rate is higher, and then check why your billable rate is lower. Most cases, I'll give you the answer. Most cases, boys, they have to keep studying. After hours, they have to keep studying, they have to upskill, they have to fight for it. Basically, that's how their world is. So they don't get any free passes anywhere. So just because, they get some advantages or something like that. No, they don't get any free passes. They have to keep studying, they have to keep upskilling. Now, before you ask for equal pay, check if you're equally billable. Check you're equally contributing. And this is the same thing Amir Khan has actually said in an interview. When an interviewer asked Amir Khan, let's say, okay, you are actually a male co-star and your co-star is basically Rani Mukherjee, and why you guys are paid differently? And why can't you guys be paid equally? You're a hero and she's a heroine and stuff like that. Then Amir replied, Rani Mukherjee is a very experienced veteran. Now let's say there is a new guy coming in and they both act in a movie. Now people will come to the theaters to see Rani Mukherjee. And people, because the new guy, no one knows him. And no one even know that he's actually the star of the movie or hero of the movie or whatever. But people will come to the movies for Rani Mukherjee. Now, whatever the people that come to the movies, let's say the total movie has collected 10 crores. And who is the one who basically pulled those people to earn the 10 crores? That's basically Rani Mukherjee. Now, will the new guy will be earning same as Rani Mukherjee? No, she will not be. He will not be. Rani Mukherjee will be earning more. The same way when Rani Mukherjee is acting with Amir Khan or Shah Rukh Khan or Salman, if she is actually bringing equal amount of money to the producers will actually be paying the equal amount of salaries to Rani Mukherjee. And that's what Amir said. And that's actually a valid argument as well. And the next thing is like reproduction and abortions and things like that. And what feminism argues, like women should have the complete rights over it and things like that. Men shouldn't have any say because it's basically a relationship. That means both people decided to have a baby. Now, if the baby is like something that, if both people wants it, they can have it. If one person doesn't want it, but that person is basically be the one who will be paying for child support for until 18 years, then how come he doesn't have a say for it? Let's say women has got the right to decide. Then in the case, like men also should have the right to say that I'm not going to pay for child support because I didn't actually ask for the child. Now, either both people decide, both people take responsibility and both people do it. Or if one is not interested, then, there shouldn't be an argument for that sake. Say, for example, if women got a child and if men wants to have a child and women wants to abort it, then, women got the right to abort it, right? The same way, if men wants to abort it, then men should also be having a saying for it. So, but feminism actually asks for this stuff. I mean, like just only the women should be in control of her abortion rights. But if it's like both people's decision, it'll be better. And the next is like women who actually fights feminism basically says it fights for equality. It doesn't say that, okay, we want to dominate men, right? Then why do like most people who commented on Atul Subhash case were actually saying that he was weak, he was a simp, he didn't do that, he didn't do this, and he doesn't look good? Why is it all that coming from all feminists? Even when Atul Subhash actually goes to court and say that, I can't do it anymore, I feel like committing suicide, his own wife said like, okay, go and die. Who cares? And the judge was laughing. She was a woman as well. And now you call this as feminism and you call this as equality is what you're fighting for. And also if you notice like in previous years, when there was like real feminism, like Catherine Switzer, who basically fought for equality. I mean, like that was a time like in 1960s or something when women were not allowed to participate in marathon. And she suddenly jumped into the marathon and then she started running. Men were pulling it out and things like that. There was oppression. There is no doubt about it. But she fought for equality. And that is basically the starting point. And now what happened was that is basically the pure feminism where the rest of the men supported her. But today you look at it. What feminism has achieved. Previously, feminism achieved like, okay, women can run in sports. Women can participate in any sports. Women can go and study anything. Women can have equal voting rights. This is all feminism that has achieved. Now tell me what feminism has achieved in 2025, 24, 23, 22. Give me a list of things that feminism has achieved. Previously, when feminism wants to abolish sati, men were supporting it. Previously, women wants to abolish, let's say, why men get more preference in actually maternal properties and things like that. And women, when they fought for it, men supported it. Today, when women are actually feminists are actually fighting for something, do real common men actually stand behind her? No, actually, it only happened in previous years, not today. Why? Because these days, feminism is basically a diversion. Feminism is actually taking women in the way that they're basically breaking marriages and they're basically taking them to court and making divorces a business. They want representation without responsibility. Now, the problem with that is like if you take, for example, Afghanistan, where women don't have right to speak in public. Women cannot go and become a doctor. Women cannot become a journalist. Women cannot become a news reporter. Women cannot be on television at all. Now, all those laws came into place just a matter of few months before. Now, if feminism is actually asking for equality, the equality should be earned. If you earn something, no one can take it from you. But if someone gives you something, they can take it from you. What happened in Afghanistan is exactly that. Women had more freedom, but now it is not. because it's been taken away because it was given before. So they give another example today. If all the lions, tigers, crocodiles, they all decide to say that, okay, we are wild animals, and now we're going to take to be the top of the food chain. Now, can they pull the man who's basically sitting on top of the food chain down? Men can today actually hunt any animal down. Men can actually go and put any animal in a zoo and he can watch it for amusement. Men have that power, but because they actually earned it. No other animal in the planet can actually pull them down. I'm not actually saying this is actually the good thing or something, but the point is this is a power of earning something. If men didn't actually go to lions and say that, okay, we want equality, why you're hunting us like this? We don't have any powerful claws, we don't have a strong canine teeth, we don't have a strong thick skin, we can't run faster, we don't have big muscles, we don't have anything. Now you can't be, you have to be fair with us. You have to, because we can't really fight with you. Men didn't actually argue this with any lions or tigers. They basically fought, they basically spilled blood and sweat and to actually be in there. They earned that place. So that is the reason no one can actually pull them down. Even women, who's actually the same, they are basically humans as well. In 2025, they are actually fighting for equality. So my point is, like, rather than you asking for equality, go and earn it. So how do you earn it? Take equal responsibility. In Ukraine, 90% of the refugees are women. Almost like 100% of the men are actually conscripted to the war. And people might come and say like, no, Rahul, in armed forces in Ukraine, there are 68,000 women who are actually participating. Now, out of those 68,000 women, 93 women have died. That is casualty of war, not in armed conflict. On the men, there is 48,000 men have died so far. Look at the proportion. It's just 93. That is not even in armed conflict. That is basically casualty. Whereas with men, they actually died in frontline. 48,000 men have died in frontline. And on top of it, 90% of the refugees are women. There were like no feminist. And imagine, like, out of the 48,000 men, there were like a lot of gay men would have been there. Like around like at least 5,000 gay men would have been there. Like, why none of the feminists said that, okay, we're not going to run. We will take equal responsibility. We will stand with because those gay men are actually part of the feminist ideology as well. They will be supporting feminism as well. Let me support those men, and because they are nobody. They are basically they are not someone else. They're basically a dad or son or father or a brother or someone. So let me, rather than me running out of the country, let me stand next to you. Let me take the burden a little bit from you. Let me contribute it. Let me increase your survival rate. Said no feminist. They all ran to European countries. They're actually doing pretty well in TikTok. They actually got pretty good TikTok and Reels. They're actually making good money out of it. Now, there is no equal responsibility. Now, until there is no equal responsibility, and asking just for representation is like something is given, and anything given can be taken away. And again, feminism today, people whomever is speaking feminism, why can't they do it without fashion? Why they have to prove? I mean, like, what is the purpose of makeup? Why do they have to enhance it? Why do they need to use a filter? Like, even if you look at most people who talk about feminism, their Instagram profile is actually all filled with filters. I haven't posted one video. I didn't even know like how to use filters in any of my Instagram. Sometimes I play around with that, but I have no intention to make myself beautiful. I just want myself to be purposeful. And why is that actually feminism is actually cannot be without a fashion industry? Why makeups has to be there to enhance them? I mean, like, feminists are basically equal, right? Just being by themselves. Why there is like makeup? And then even if you go to any shoe store today, you go to like kids section, and then if you look for any shoes or footwear for like a boy, that basic footwear is actually a productive one. I mean, like, you can wear it and you can actually run faster, or you basically run on top of stones and things like that. It basically helps you to do what you're doing like in a much better way. Whereas if you go to the girl section, you can see all the little shoes which has got little heels, and they're very uncomfortable. People couldn't even walk with that. And that is for kids. Kids are supposed to run and have fun. Finally, a note for all feminine men and simps, guys. I just want to tell you that, being a simp, you might think that, okay, this is basically what women want. No, actually, this is like a convenience. They want your convenience, not your companionship. And most people who get into divorces, they realize that their mistake was being a simp. And so if you're a simp, just remember one thing. There is always a boy bestie who looks like a man, who acts like a man, and they're gonna take your girl. Think about it. Thanks guys, and cheers again.